Hello, my name is Liyana. A few years ago, something happened at school that really shook my confidence. Since childhood, I had always been a good student, the teacher's favorite, always buried in books. I finished my homework on time, scored excellent marks on exams, and was proud of it. My friends knew how seriously I took my studies. Fortunately, they accepted me as I was. So, whenever they needed help with their studies, we would study together and even have fun. Everything was going well. But one day, things suddenly changed. One day, our principal announced that students who achieved the highest results in their grade would receive a full scholarship, meaning all their educational expenses would be covered. Everyone wanted to win it, but most didn't put in extra effort. Many continued as usual without working harder. But I started studying twice as much. I knew my parents could really use the extra support, and I wanted them to be proud of me. Gradually, I spent less time with friends, canceled plans, and focused entirely on my studies. At first, my friends didn't seem to mind, but over time, they started becoming distant. I didn't realize it, at least not until it was too late. Finally, the day of the award ceremony arrived. The entire school gathered in the auditorium. One by one, the winners' names were announced. My name wasn't being called, and I started feeling extremely nervous. I feared that maybe I hadn't worked hard enough and that all my efforts had been in vain. My hope was slowly fading. Then, when it was time to announce the last name I had already accepted, it's over. But then, the principal said, "My name." I practically jumped out of my seat with joy. However, that happiness didn't last long. A classmate turned around and said with irritation, "You don't deserve this. Your family is rich. You didn't have to sacrifice anything to get this." I was shocked. The entire class heard it, and I wished I could disappear. The truth was, I was never rich. But no one knew that my father had undergone multiple major surgeries after a terrible car accident. He had lost his job and was unable to work. My mother had spent all our family's savings on his treatment, and we were struggling to survive. This scholarship meant everything to me. But that one comment felt like a dagger to my heart. I started doubting myself. Had I really worked hard enough? Or had I just taken an opportunity away from someone more deserving? I felt ashamed, as if I had been exposed as a fraud. What happened next? I never imagined. Before, being a top student had brought my friends closer, but now it pushed everyone away. Students started talking behind my back, making fun of me in class whenever I answered a question. It felt like I was being punished for who I had always been. People at school made sure I knew they thought I didn't deserve the scholarship. I felt so heartbroken that I even considered giving it back. At school, it seemed better to lose the money than to lose my friends. But when I got home, I knew I couldn't do that to my family. My provision was from Allah, and no one could take it away. I was so miserable that one of my favorite teachers noticed and asked me why I was so quiet. As soon as I started explaining, I broke down in tears. She listened carefully and then said, "Do you think what people say about you is what truly matters? What really matters is how Allah sees you. If you work hard in a halal way and people falsely accuse you, know that Allah is on your side." I remained silent. Then she continued, "Allah says in the Quran, 'So whoever does an atom's weight of good will see it.' Surah Az-Zalzala 7. She smiled and added, "If someone else was more deserving, they would have received it. But you were chosen because you earned it." And that is still true today. From that day on, I stopped worrying about what others thought. Within a few weeks, people moved on to other things, and the gossip faded. But the most important lesson I learned was, when Allah grants a blessing, some people will always be jealous. Eventually, my closest friends found out about my father's situation. They understood why this scholarship was so important to me, and we started reconnecting. This experience taught me a valuable lesson. People's opinions do not define the truth. The truth is what we believe about ourselves and how Allah values us. Dear friends, we should never let others' words discourage us. Instead, we should put our trust in Allah. Whatever risk, provision, Allah has written for us, no one can take it away. What do you think about my story? Have you ever won something that made others jealous? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.